Hello everybody, welcome back to our video. In this video, I want to tell you guys about the item burning gauge and some tips about it. Just tips about item burning in general that I think is really useful information. Some people on this week already have this item burning gauge, so they're a little confused on what to do with it. And some people, they're still really far away. And I'm going to let you know exactly how all of that works. Of course, if this video helps you out, definitely be sure to subscribe. I'm really trying to hit 40K by the end of the year. It's going to be hard, but I know we could do it. Of course, also come to the live stream where you can see me progress my rent a lot. I am playing this game so much more than normal. Like, it's actually crazy. And then also join the Discord if you need anything. Anyways, let's get right into it. So the first thing that you should know is how this gauge fills up. So this gauge fills up by killing the bosses. So for example, if I want to fill up the Vellum gauge, you can see here that I get 5 points for every single time I kill him. This little number over here, I don't think it really means anything, but you have to hover over it. So for example, I killed Vellum 2 times. So now I'm at 10 out of 20 because each time it gives you 5. And then different difficulties of bosses give different amounts of points. So for example, I did Hard Lucid, which gave me 16, right? But if I did normal, it would have given me 14. I don't know why hard is only 16, only 2 points above normal, but whatever. And then Hard Lotus gives me 12, whereas normal gives you 5. You get it at this point, right? So basically how this works is you'll see that every single time you fill it up, there's a little bit of a different set effect. So like the Zakam one will be 30 attack and 10 IED, whereas Slime will be like, you know, a bunch of other stats. But basically what this item burning extraction does is it allows you to remove some parts of the challenger gear and use other items. So the challenger gear is very, very strong, obviously. Like, it's 19 stars, it has a really good flame and has a decent potential. So at a baseline, it is very, very good. But certain pieces would be much better if you were to replace them if you had them. Like for example, on gloves, if you don't know, gloves on this game at legendary can get crit damage as a potential. They're the only gear slot in the game that can get crit damage on it. So you would actually be able to gain a lot more damage if you were to replace the challenger glove with an actual glove, whether it's an absol glove or an arcane glove. But the problem with that is then you would lose the set effect. So you'll see I'll go down to the 7 set on the right, whereas I was at the 8 set, which gave me attack and IED. So then you're actually losing a little bit. And the problem with that as well is if you were to replace one item, like let's say I put on this Absol glove, I don't even have the 2 set from the Absolab set effect or the 3 set from the Absolab set effect. So I'm losing a set effect from Challenger Gear, and I'm not even gaining the Absolab set effect because the Absolab set effect starts at 2 sets. So what Nexon made is actually really clever. This is a brand new thing for our server only, just so you know. Like, other servers don't have this, which is actually very, very interesting, is they made this little item burning gauge system that allows you to apply a set effect to a slot on your gear so that you don't lose the challenger set effect. So this is how it works. So once you fill it up, you press extract, right? Receive the following effects upon extraction. I'm going to press yes, and then I'm going to put extract key. Boom. So you extracted a key, right? So now you have this challenger key. Use this key by dropping it onto an armor or weapon slot. This will enable a set effect in the armor or weapon slot of your choice. So for me, what I'm going to do, this is what I think is one of the most clever uses of this, is using it on either the hat slot or glove slot. I'm going to use it on my hat because I don't really want to replace my gloves until I get an arcane glove because it's significantly better in stats than the challenger glove. I'm going to use it on my hat so that I could get a cooldown hat. Hat is another unique item on this game where you can get cooldown lines on it, and you need cooldown for Ren to be as strong as possible. So I'm going to use this glove on my hat slot. I'm going to put on my CRA hat, and I'm going to use the key on my hat slot. This effect does not apply challenger equipment on the Eternal set, including Genesis and Destiny weapons. So whatever, it doesn't use it on these items, but who cares, right? Boom. So now you can see that I have the CRA hat on, and I get the 1 set Ignitia, which gives me 30 attack and 10 IED. So despite being 7 set on the challenger set, it doesn't really matter because now that 30 attack and 10 IED has been moved to the Ignitia set, which is part of my CRA set. So it's as if I just put on the challenger hat, but this time I could actually flame it and potential it and star it as high as I want. But you'll notice that the CRA set is not here anymore. It doesn't actually add both set effects at the same time because CRA itself also has its own set effect. So for example, if I were to redeem a CRA pants and I were to put these on, I'm not getting the 2-set CRA. My hat is not a part of this set effect. So Nexon actually thought about this as well with this button over here that says set effect change. And you can actually enable or disable the Ignitia set effect. So if I disable it, I could disable it on my hat specifically. And now when I hover over my hat, it's back to being part of the CRA set. So you can actually use this to get certain set effects and then other set effects that you don't necessarily want. So for example, if I were to get the entire CRA set, right? In order to put on every single piece, this is actually a very strong set effect. And then with the Genesis weapon, because it's a lucky item, I get the 4 set effect with the bonus 30 attack. So this is actually really good, and I would probably choose this over the Ignitia set effect. And then I would have 5-set Challenger, and if I wanted to replace, let's say, the gloves with an Arcane glove, then I could put the Ignitia set on that slot. But here's the thing though, here's something that you should keep in mind, something that I realized as well, is the Ignitia set effect, this little gimmick here. So I could put change set effect, I want it back on my hat. This is really only good for a few slots in my opinion. Like for example, because I just want to wear my hat and I don't want to wear anything else right now, then it's actually very, very good because I don't lose anything. If I only had the CRA hat and I had no Ignitia set effect, I wouldn't be getting the CRA set because it's only one item. And because it's only one item, it allows me to get the set effect bonus and not really lose anything from challenge gear. So I could put this hat on and it'll be perfectly fine. But let's say I wanted to put on the whole CRA set, then I would switch to the CRA set because I have the complete set. And it's the same with Arcanes or Absos if you want to switch to that. So it's okay if you do one item because you're just moving the set effect from challenger gear to the one item. But if I had the whole set, like let's say I had the whole Abso set or the whole Arcane set, then I would just use that. I would just use like the 5-set Arcane instead. So I would definitely use this little set effect thing, honestly, as I unlocked it. The other thing that it's actually really useful for is if you are trying to mix set some stuff. Like for example, let's say you have an Abso glove on and you have an Arcane cape on, an Arcane shoulder on, and then like an Abso boot on, then it would be actually really good because instead of having 2-set Abso and 2-set Arcane, you would have 4-set Ignitia. So the set effect would actually be better because you have a bunch of different mixed gear, which is actually really useful because instead of having to wait till full 5-set Arcane or full 5-set Abso, you can actually wear a mix set. You can wear like an Arcane glove and like an Arcane boot, and then you could wear like an Abso shoulder, Abso cape, CRA hat, CRA pants, and then put all of the Ignitia set on all of them, plus the Genesis weapon lucky effect, and then you would have like 7-set Ignitia. I know it might be a little hard to visualize, but if you understand what I'm saying, it's actually pretty good. Maybe I should reword it one more time. You can use this Ignitia set effect to get a bunch of different gears and put them all in one set effect. So if I were to get an Arcane box and I got a shoe, and then if I got an Abso box and I got a glove, and then I put a CRA hat on, instead of wearing only one of these, and they're all different sets, CRA set, Abso set, and then Arcane set, I can put them all part of the Ignitia set, and then they all work together. So this system helps you do that. It helps you transition off of this gear a lot easier, and it's actually very, very cool. Like I actually really like this system. It's very honestly, like it's very well thought out, to be honest with you. Now you might say like, oh lol, the well thought out, what about this number over here? Like that's true, it's a visual bug, but like the rest of the system seems to function pretty well in my opinion. So then that leads me to my next piece of advice for this challenger gear is when should you transition out of the challenger gear, because the challenger gear is very, very strong. Like it is not bad gear at all. For me personally, what I plan on doing is I'm going to first of all wear this hat. And if I get an Arcane glove, then I'm going to wear the glove and put the Ignitia set on it. Honestly, I don't really plan on doing much more than that for a long time until I can get full set effects. So what I mean by that is I'm just going to wear the hat and I'm going to wear the Arcane glove when I get it because these 2 item slots are special. I could get cooldown on the hat and I could get crit damage on the glove, and then I'll put the Ignitia set and I'll be able to get the Ignitia set on it and it'll be quite a bit stronger. That's the way that I'm looking at it. But I'm not gonna slowly replace my Arcanes one piece at a time because I don't think that's necessary. Like it'll be a slight damage gain, but I'm not really down bad for like a lot of damage at the moment. So I'm just gonna wait until I get the full 5-set Arcane, until I get like an Arcane cape drop, Arcane shoulder, Arcane boots, and then switch to 5-set Arcane, and then switch to 3-set CRA. That's what I'm gonna do. But if I were to get a glove drop, I'll still put that on because I could get the crit damage. Now, what stars should you swap at? You can actually swap all of these at 18 stars. If you don't know, you can actually safeguard all the way to 18 now. So if you happen to get arcanes or if you happen to get CRA or whatever and you want to put them on, you can put it on at 18. Make sure you flame it, potential it to legendary, and then it'll be better than the challenger gear. So that's what I'm going to do. Like once I get all of the arcane set to 18, once I get all of my CRAs to 18, I will swap all of them all at once. I'm actually going to go for 21 CRA on this upcoming Starforce event, which I will have a video about tomorrow about Cube Sale and Starforce event. Cube Sale is really late at night today, but my video is going to be tomorrow afternoon about it. But honestly, like if you want basic advice on Cube Sale and you're watching this video, please go for your damn hybrids, bro. Please. Like these hybrids and double drop are literally the most important thing in your progression. If you don't have them, get them. It's more important than starring. Yes, it is. Anyways, I hope this video helped you guys out. Hope you learned something. These are like my thoughts on this like item burning stuff. I think it's pretty cool. And if you have any more questions, definitely leave a comment down below. Come to a live stream you could ask in real time. And with that being said, appreciate you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Shout out to my beautiful members: Blazefire, Shooms, Shagad, Ravi Espa, Koga, Skittles, CKJ, Vampiric X, Fresh and Juicy, Kelvin, Cloud Figs, Trashbot, Henzo, Dylan, Cloudy Quesos, Jason B, Sylvester L, JA, Russell M, Mochi Teddy, Zero Sama, Shredbot, Michael R, and Suna TM. I appreciate you guys so much. If you guys ever want to submit art, put it in the Discord fan art channel, and I'll see you for the next video.